Hello everyone and welcome to this week's episode of The Shredding Skeptic. Today we're going to be taking a look at Empyrion Galactic Survival. This game incorporates many familiar elements from some of my more recent favorite titles, and introduces a very simple construction mechanic that I've found to be very intuitive and fun to use. So thank you very much for taking the time to tune into part 1, so let's jump right in and see what this game has to offer. All of the different materials that you're going to want to build in this game are going to require you to dive into some mining. Now this is something that I haven't seen a lot of in other games because I haven't played Minecraft yet, somewhat to my embarrassment. But fortunately it means this mining idea is still somewhat new to me because it is going to take a lot of your time in the game. What I would like to see added is some sort of automatic harvesting upgrade for the drill that will collect the ore for you, because I found the most tedious part of the drilling was really having to go in and pick up all the chunks of ore afterwards. Granted, this does add a degree of realism to the game, however I wouldn't mind seeing something that would just suck it right out of the wall and put it straight in my inventory, because that would make the mining a lot faster and, in my opinion, a little bit more fun. As soon as you start up your first try at the game, I would definitely recommend getting your oxygen station established and making sure that that is well supplied with fuel packs. There is a nearby Promethium deposit that will allow you to build those fuel packs quite easily, and once you've mined through a couple of those deposits, fuel doesn't really seem to become as much of a concern after a little while. What does become a concern, however, are these drones. They will become progressively more difficult the farther you go out into space, but by that time, hopefully you've established a pretty decent weapons suite for yourself so that you're going to be able to take on whatever adversaries you guys might find on Omicron. For this video, we're just going to be taking a look around the first planet just to see what it looks like, and in a later video we're going to take a look at the other 3 celestial bodies that you guys are going to be able to find yourself on later in the game. So far, there's only a handful of planets that you can actually interact with, but the developers are planning on incorporating a fully functional solar system as well as a full galaxy after that. This is something I'm really looking forward to because I was somewhat disappointed with the progress of Star Citizen, which I actually got a full copy of when I got my graphics card recently. Needless to say, I was a little bit disappointed with the progress of Star Citizen when I initially picked it up as a free game with my graphics card, so again, I didn't really lose any money there, but again, seeing how much you can do in this early access title, it really seems that they could have given us a little bit more for people who chose to buy in early. So for the time being, we'll continue to get our space exploration fix from Empyrion Galactic Survival. And to be honest, I've put about 15 hours into this game so far, and for a game that only cost me $20, this game is more than up to the task. In addition to a video featuring some more space exploration, hopefully a subsequent video to that can feature some capital ship building with some of my friends in the Gamer Life community. So if you guys are interested in joining us on that particular adventure, definitely hop over and subscribe to Alloy7's channel so that you can get in on the party. There is limited multiplayer functionality as it is, but it seems that you're going to have to set up one of those false VPN LAN setups through Tungle or one of these other services that basically allows everyone to join, and then your computer thinks you're on the same LAN network and you can just throw in an IP address and a port. So very, very simple and rudimentary right now, but it might work just to see how well this functions as a multiplayer title. When it comes to constructing your first space vehicle, what you want to make sure you do is include enough downforce so that you can lift yourself off and maintain a stable hover. The game is all block-based and not picky whatsoever when it comes to aerodynamics, so if you just throw one thruster on the back, that'll give you enough to fly straight forward and have, a mediocre amount of control. But to achieve the kind of maneuverability you're going to need to take on some of the turrets and drones in space, you're definitely going to want to make sure you have thrusters on the sides, the top, the bottom, and the back, and the front so that you can move in any direction. You may not be as quick, but your spacecraft will function a little bit more like a helicopter than a fighter jet. I was a little outclassed for speed when I was out in space with some of the faster laser-based drones, but I was able to compensate for that by simply flying backwards and simply using the 5 plasma cannons I had mounted on the vehicle to obliterate the drone. When navigating around Omicron on foot, what I would recommend is holding the spacebar to engage a constant jumping mode, and then holding and releasing the shift key in such a way that you're holding the shift key as you're coming down, and you release it as you're coming back up. And what this does is preserve your stamina bar and get you up a little bit faster to make moving around the planet a little bit more, efficient. As you can see on the center screen, there's a green divider between some of the zones, and I think this is just done as part of the difficulty the developers have been having, according to the forum, is mapping a flat or curved surface onto a sphere. So right now the poles are not accessible, as you may have seen earlier with that orange barrier that wasn't going to allow me to enter that particular area of the planet. Eventually, the developers are hoping to have these planets fully procedurally generated, as right now everything is sort of in a fixed position. With the obvious benefit of a procedurally generated world, meaning you could have far more planets as they, well, frankly, they build themselves. So no doubt many of you could draw parallels between this game and a game like No Man's Sky, which is a game that would apparently take you about 5 billion years to explore every planet on it for 1 second, because they're using some sort of a 64-bit algorithm rather than a 32-bit, essentially doubling the number of worlds that it would take. So, I don't know, maybe 2 billion years was not long enough for someone to explore the entire game. But again, I think the downside to that would also be that eventually, despite everything being generated procedurally, if the game fails to muster enough in the content department, people may be left feeling somewhat underwhelmed by the quadrillion planets, or however many are there, if there's really nothing to do on them. But Imperium does come equipped with a variety of different creatures for you to hunt on the planet. As you can see on our top screen, this creature will yield some meat for us to throw on the barbecue later on, and some other alien parts which I haven't quite figured out what to do with yet. What I would recommend, instead of spending your resources and time trying to construct a lot of ammunition for your ground weapons, is instead invest your time building a space vehicle that can fly around, because right now the game does not have any limitation on the amount of ammo on these ships, and it is, completely infinite, so you can just go nuts and go hunting to your heart's content, and then simply find a safe place to land and collect the spoils. That said, I do not want to understate the importance of going out prepared, including filling up all of the different bars, including your health, your food, oxygen, well, and stamina just by standing still, basically. And it would not be amiss to go prepared with a good complement of ammunition. If you're going to try to take on the towers, I would recommend trying to fire from a stationary position, as the ship's weapons do seem to be somewhat affected by your direction of travel. The turrets that are on the towers are a rather keen shot, so I would try to move after you have fired your weapons and stay on the move until they've had a chance to recharge. I don't want to give away too much as to what you might find in your explorations of Omicron, but I would definitely recommend that you guys get into this game now while it is still at an early access price. And I'd certainly love to hear your thoughts in the comments as to what your experiences have been with Imperium Galactic Survival so far. What have you found to be enjoyable? What have you found to be particularly frustrating? Also, what are you looking forward to seeing in some of the future updates for this game? In my next video, I'm hoping to take a trip out to the asteroid field. I've already done a bit of damage out there, and I'm hoping to finally take over that space station for myself and hopefully get myself a capital ship. So look forward to seeing one of those coming out, and if you'd like to see that in the video, throw a thumbs up down below. And if you stuck around this far, thanks again. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to check out these videos. If PC gaming from a triple screen perspective is something that interests you, please, I invite you to subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more of this format in the future. I'd also like to thank all my viewers from the United States and Germany who had a chance to check out my Heroes and Generals video. I got a lot of playtime from those countries, and I certainly appreciate it, ladies and gentlemen, and I look forward to seeing you guys in future videos and in the comments section. And on that note, I'd also like to thank my viewers from all over the world who have had a chance to check out my recent videos. The analytics have indicated up to 47 different countries have been tuning in, and it's a real honor to have everybody from all over converging on this one topic of the games that we enjoy playing. I know we may not always agree on some of the nuances, but I'm glad we can all take time to at least share in an experience that we all enjoy so much. And one of the things that I found to be the most gratifying about making these YouTube videos are the connections that I make with people in the gaming community, because we all share this passion and we can all share stories that we'll all enjoy hearing. So once again, I invite you to submit your videos to the Gamer Life community so that we can all share in the experiences that you've had that brought you so much joy. Because remember, these are our games, and this is our story.